So let's go ahead and talk about some wireless systems for metal detectors. I want to explain to you in this video what a wireless system is, why you might want it if you're a detectorist, and then we're going to do a quick product review of this one. This is the Garrett Metal Detectors Z-Lynk. They call it the Z-Lynk. Now for you non-Americans, you might call that the Z-Lynk. I don't know why, but Americans call this letter, the last letter of the alphabet, XYZ, whereas most Europeans call it Z, so it's XYZ. So when you hear Z, that's Z. When you hear Z, that's Z. Oh, it's like, who's Z? I've done that a million times over there. Keep in mind that Garrett is a sponsor of my channel, but I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I feel about this. I have not used it yet. I've looked at it, but I have not actually put it on a metal detector. You're going to get the good and the bad. Okay, why do you want to use a wireless system if you're a detectorist? Love that show. Kind of lost it toward the end, but the detectorist, if you've never seen it, it's a British show. It's really funny. Okay, so if you're detecting, as you well know, I'm going to use a couple different machines to test this Z-Lynk to show you and show me that it actually does work with other brands besides Garrett's. When you're detecting, you're normally connected to the metal detector like this. Okay, so you have this cord that is getting tangled up in the bushes and the brambles, and that can be a real pain. I don't like having these cords attached. I don't think anyone does. But what the Z-Lynk does, and what any wireless system would do, is it allows you to detach this. So you just have your headphones here and your metal detector here. There's no connection in between the two that can get caught on the branches or the brambles or tied, tangled around your legs. So that's why people like to use wireless systems. All right, so let's take a look at the actual wireless system that they sent to me. Again, they gave this to me free, but I'm going to tell you the way it is. It's a very, very simple system just looking at it. There's basically two boxes. One goes on the shaft of the metal detector, the other one plugs into your headphones. They each have little boxes, and I'm going to show you this. Little box goes in your pocket, a little box on the shaft of the metal detector, or somewhere on the metal detector. I guess we should go ahead and look at it now. Well, let's do this first. These are the instructions. Very simple. That's it right there. This is how to use it, and this is just a diagram of how to put it on a metal detector. Now, a word of warning. This Z-Lynk system will not work on all metal detectors. It will work on most metal detectors, most brands. But if you have a metal detector that has a very special type of connector, like the underwater connectors, and I'll just show you one here, or a connector like the Garrett's have, that kind there, that's different than the normal jack connector, then you're going to have a little bit of a problem. Some metal detectors have special connectors like this one because they're waterproof, and you can take them underwater, and they have to have an O-ring, okay, to keep the water from getting in there. So there's a little bit of a problem if you have this type of connector on your headphones or metal detector, depending on what kind you have. If you have a Garrett metal detector, an ATX series metal detector, the kind you can actually put underwater, AT Pro, AT Gold, ATX, I guess just the AT series, you have to buy a separate little connector, okay, and it has that on there, and this goes into the box. This does not come as part of this package. So if you have one of the Garrett's AT series, you have to buy this as well. If you have another brand of underwater detector, you might have a little bit of a problem, so make sure you talk to them or talk to someone before you buy it. I'm going to put a link to, an affiliate link to metaldetector.com. They are friends of mine, and they will help you answer any questions that you might have about anything like this. I'll put a link directly to the Z-Lynk, and they have like little chat boxes so you can chat with them online if you want, or call them, whatever. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the different components that you're going to get in that box, and we're going to put it on the machine together. I have not actually ever put it on the machine and listened to it. Which brings me to another point. With a wireless system, the big problem I think there's other wireless systems out there right now that you can buy. Bluetooth, you can use Bluetooth on a metal detector, but the big problem with a wireless system, up until now, maybe, is that, and I'm going to show this to you. Let's pretend this is a coin. We won't have to pretend because it is the coin we're going to use to test this thing. But with most wireless systems that you can buy, and apparently including like the Bluetooth system if you want to use that, I've never used it, is that when you have your loop like this, your metal detecting loop, and you go across the target that's underground, the loop will go across the target, and it takes a little bit of time for that signal to get from the detector to your headphones or your Bluetooth or whatever, so it won't beep until it actually crosses it. This is what I've been told. I don't know how true it is, but I've been told that, and I know that's been a big problem in reading journals and whatnot. So you go across our target, it doesn't beep till you go across. So you go across, beep, so you don't really know where it is for sure. You go back across the test, beep after it goes across, okay? Now supposedly with the Z-Lynk or the Z-Lynk that Garrett has here, they're saying that it's instantaneous. It's like 1/17 millionth of a second or something. I don't know, it's on here. But they say it's like 10 or 20 times faster than Bluetooth. I don't know. But we're going to test that right now with 3 different kinds of machines. We're going to use a Teknetics, a White's, and a Fisher. We're just going to assume that it works with the Garrett. I'm pretty sure it does. All right, let's take a look at what's in the box. So this is exactly what you get in the box. This is the box. Again, this is the Garrett Z-Lynk or Z-Lynk. It has the specifications on the back and talks a little bit about how fast it is and the different frequencies it uses. But we're not going to worry about that because it's really all in, does it actually work, not what the book says. So we have 2 boxes. One is a transmitter, WT transmitter, and this is the part that goes onto the metal detector that will transmit the signal back to the headphones. And you can tell which part it is because it has this groove. This goes on the shaft of the metal detector right there. It's strapped to the shaft. You strap it to the shaft with this, and we're actually going to do that, so don't get too freaked out like I sometimes get. All right, so you have the transmitter and you have the receiver, and this could go on your shirt. You could clip it to your shirt or put it in your pocket, and the headphones would plug in here, and again I'll show you that. Keep in mind, these are both water resistant, but they're not waterproof. You can get them wet, a little bit of rain, but don't submerge them. The little box that goes on the shaft apparently does have more water repellent properties than this one, mainly because it only has this one hole right here. And according to the book, it says that you can get this more wet than you can get this, because this of course has the 2 holes in it. Don't go underwater with these. Light rain, a little bit of mud, probably isn't going to hurt you from what I'm reading. Okay, so here's what you have. You have your transmitter and your receiver. They both have rechargeable batteries in them. I believe they are sealed units. You use these cables. There's 2 cables, okay? And you use these to recharge them. All you have to do is plug it in here like that, if I can get it straight. And then this end you can just plug into your computer to charge it, or if you have the little adapter, little cheap adapter, you can plug it into that and then plug it into the wall. So you have 2 chargers, so you can charge each one. I believe, according to the book, that this will run for like 30 hours, so that's a good long time. Again, I haven't actually tested that yet though. All right, so what we're going to do is take this transmitter, and we're going to hook it onto the first machine, which we're going to use a Fisher machine, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Well, we're going to learn together. What I have here is a Fisher Gold Bug, and let's go ahead and put this on together. I have not done this yet on any machine. Again, this is the transmitter. It transmits the signal, and it has this slot right here that will go on a shaft or something like that. Of course, you don't want it here. Let's see where we can put this. It has to be someplace close to the headphone jack, because we're going to plug this in to the transmitter, and this is for the jack on the metal detector. So we plug that in here. When the metal detector gets a signal, it's going to run it up this little cable here into this box, and this box is going to send it through the air to the receiver. So you're not going to be physically connected to this metal detector or any metal detector except via little waves that float through the air. So let's go ahead and put this on there somewhere. See if we can find a place to fit. Yeah, that might be a good place right there. Probably don't want to put it any place that's going to be pushing on here. So that's not going to work there. But if we put it on the side, I think that will work. Or, you know, we could probably put it right there too. But let's put it right here. That way it's out of the way. And that's what this is for, this little O-ring. Slots on the top, so you just put the O-ring in there, like that. And you bring it around the other side of the shaft. And you hook it there. It's a little bit tight, this little spot I picked. But at least it won't get knocked off. Okay. So that's it. That is hooked up to the metal detector. It's nice and tight, plugged in good, that's plugged in good. So the metal detector is good to go for now. Next step is we're going to take our headphones. And I'm going to use these Gray Ghosts. These are some of my favorite headphones. As you can tell, I really need to get a new pair of these. These are getting pretty old, although they have fixed them many times for me because I have a tendency to break stuff. This is the receiver, WR receiver. So you take your headphone with your normal jack, that will go into here. Okay? And that's it. So any signal the metal detector gets that's way over there will be transmitted to this little box with your headphones on. Keep in mind, these cables here are for charging these units. So I guess we won't need those today. So we take our headphones, we can put them on. We have the little receiver box. I'll put it on this side. That's the side the cable is on. You can just drop it in your pocket. Then you'll have your machine and you can go digging now, you can go hunting. You're not connected. You can set this down when you're walking through the briars and the brambles. You don't have to worry about getting snagged. Now, we're going to test it. First thing we have to do, and don't forget to do this, is you have to pair the units. And it's a very simple process. But these have to know how to communicate with each other. So you have to press the buttons and turn them on and let them do their thing. So what we do is we turn on the receiver. Just press the button. You can see it goes blink, blink, blink. And we know the receiver is on. And the next step is that we have to turn on the transmitter and pair it so that it knows how to talk to the receiver. So to turn it on, you just kind of press and hold the button for a second and the red light comes on. That is on. It's not paired yet, okay? And according to the instructions, all we have to do is just press and release the button quickly. And apparently that will pair the units together. Hopefully that's paired now. Let's find out. And again, take this, you can just put it in your pocket. If you have a shirt pocket, I always like to wear shirts like this and shove all that stuff in there. Or I guess you could put it in your bag or something like that too. So I have headphones that are not connected to the metal detector. Let's go ahead and take these 3 units. We're going to test it. We're going to see if the signal is actually like instantaneous or at least close enough on the 3 different types of metal detectors. Another thing I forgot to mention is that this box here has a volume control, okay? Your metal detector normally has a volume control as well, whatever brand you might be using. So you may have to adjust both of them to get it where you want it. If you have this all the way down and that all the way up, you may hear nothing. So you might have to adjust the volume on here and on here to get it where you want it. I like stuff blasting, so wide open for me is the way to go. This is the headphones right here with the receiver right next to it. I have the metal detector, you can see there's nothing connected to it. So this is kind of neat in that it does work all the way over here. So I'm just going to stand here and go back and forth across this quarter, and we want to see if there is a delay in the time that the loop goes over that quarter and you hear it in the headphones. You ready? Here we go. Again, this is a Fisher metal detector, the gold bug. I think that's instantaneous. Absolutely, no doubt about it. So I'm kind of curious too as to how far away this would work. It says it's like 3 feet or something like that, but I suspect it's going to be further. You ready? Here it goes. Yeah, that's good. Can you hear it? I'm tangled up. That's a long ways there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try the Teknetics now. You can still see the headphones here. I'm just going to leave them there so you can hear them. We have to go and plug this into here. This is where the headphone jack is. And we're going to have to hook this to the machine somewhere that is a little bit out of the way. So I think right here would be good. Again, just take the rubber band that they gave you. Hook it around there. It's a little bit tight, but I think it needs to be. You can just roll it up into those slots. Okay, so that's mounted right there. Upside down, but I don't think that's going to matter. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Again, this is a Teknetics machine. Can you hear it? I would say that's instantaneous as well. Awesome. So we know it works on a Teknetics. Let's go ahead and try the whites. And that should do it for us as far as machines to test today. Just take that off. Let's unplug it. Put this in here. We need to find a place to mount this out of the way. Hopefully this cord is long enough. Yeah, so we'll mount it right here. That's kind of out of the way. Again, just put the rubber band around it like that. Reach underneath. Give it a good wrench. And just kind of roll. This is what I do anyway. I just kind of roll the band up onto the top into the slot. Okay, that's mounted. Upside down again. Let's see if it works with whites. I think I have to put a program on here, so. Alright. Yeah, it wants me to ground balance, but you probably can hear all this beeping. So if you hear it beeping already, that means it works. It's not going to want to ground balance probably, but okay, so this is fired up. We'll try it on the quarter. Again, if you've heard it, you know it works already. I wasn't really paying attention. But what we want to see is make sure the signal is instantaneous. You ready? Here goes our whites. Yep. I'd say that's instantaneous too. That sounds good, huh? I like that sound. All right, so we know it works on at least these 3 brands, and they tell me it works on all brands. Not all brand, but all brands. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the good and the bad for the Z-Lynk or the Z-Lynk. As far as I can see, the good, it works exactly as advertised. It definitely has a fast response, there's no doubt about that. I can't tell any difference between that signal and the signal if I actually had it wired into the machine. So good is all good. It's all good except for one little thing, okay? The bad. And it's not really bad because I'm telling you up front and they tell you up front. If you have a jack on your metal detector or headphones that's different than that, you need to check with someone to make sure you can make this work on your metal detector, okay? If you have Garrett's, you can buy a separate piece, like the Garrett AT series, AT Gold, AT Pro, ATX. You can buy a separate piece to make it work. But make sure you check your machine and your headphones. If you have this jack, you're fine, no matter what brand it is, apparently. At least on these 3 brands, but I can't imagine why it wouldn't work on all of them. So that's the only bad part, but that's up front before you buy it. Has nothing to do with how it actually works. So, hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'm going to put an affiliate link to metaldetector.com, probably up here in one of the corners, and in the video description. If you go to them, they can answer any questions about the Z-Lynk. I want to try to do some more of these product reviews. You know, I started doing that earlier. Well, a year or two I was doing a few of them. If there's anything in particular you would like me to look at, please let me know and I'll try to arrange that. Just keep in mind, if you're a supplier, that I tell a good and a bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, which is good for you guys that are actually watching it. And if you have a decent product, a good product that actually works, you don't have anything to worry about. So, all right, hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you on the next one. Don't know when, but we'll see you then. Have a good one. I'm a poet and didn't know it.